small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile. No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you?
Так.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
Це.
The men have small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make the world out of amber?
Ніхуя в неї. Так.
Back in Mecca, during the time of the revolution, the sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buenguerro. Until you came along, that is. This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen, and schoolboys used to memorize all his lines.
In all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed in her mind.
Someone was.
Так, someone.
They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. And they will win. They're coming for this, you know? All of this.
Так, ще раз. Хто? Про кого це вона?
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden.
Так, а що це таке, власне? Man Behind the Black Sun, це що? Пісня? Це фільм?
While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution, in Meth, it was a golden age.
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi, the world's largest state by territory. It's a petrostate, a constitutional monarchy, and, as of recently, an outcast due to its tilt to the far right.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole. Diamonds. Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was? Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
Huh.
Oh, it's so much more than a high where I go, Harife. It's low. I go to the bottom.
Yeah, it's definitely some kick. Some terrible kick in the dark. A sleep kick. Perhaps you can find out later.
Then it's contraband, Loman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildo.
Bad Hand, Hermenegildos' bad hand, strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people.
Ебать.
Of course not. To truly understand the boyadero, you need to listen to On the Western Plain.
The boyadero, boya for short, is a cow herder from upstream Magritte, the great steppes of northern Mesk. He is a rugged individualist and explorer.
Це типу як ковбой. Так.
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain. Of course not. The boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the river Magritte, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down.
In the background, you can hear the orchestra swell as the screen fills with the maiden's imploring eyes.
So the boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Magritte. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him.
Йобаний рід.
You have to understand. A true boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a boyadero.
Це прикол.
She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her things.
So he doesn't think she's a smuggler.
You hear that, Loman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me.
Nothing. I just don't think she's connected to anything.
He doesn't want your frail mind caught up in something here. Something unconnected to the case, but connected to this woman tuning out like that.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best camioners around. I drive routes no one else will. Lomonosov's land, Udashnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain, the Transcatolia Magistral, you for 1A, Adestradas du Mirador, all the good ones, the deep trenches, where the bluebirds fly.
Так.
You're right, Lowman. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously. Thank you for looking out for me.
Сарказм.
A correct appraisal. You're quite shabby.
Is that all you woke me up to say?
She's just a
So he...
You heard that, Lowman? I don't... Oh, don't worry. The monos... The Transcatolia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas do Mirador. All the good ones. The Deep Trench. Irmao. I already am dust. What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel. The great adversary. No drugs can compare. Yes, there is a protagonista and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
Those epithets are familiar somehow.
Привіт,
The great
Анталіч.
adversary.
Hello.
The great unrest.
Бля, звідки це вона взяла?
If you don't know,
Maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
Ага. Рапт.
why would I want to do that?
Так. Паркомерс. Що мені тут сказати? Ось це, напевно.
Lowman, what in the name of God are you talking about?
Бля.
Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramirizza to Grad, the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramirizza to Grad, Lowman?
Я не знаю.
It's diamonds, Lowman, obviously. Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
А хто це? Про кого це вона?
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others. Diamonds are good for you, Lowman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself pretty like Eva de Zoras. Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the features of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will.
Дякую за лайк,
Great
БТВ.
plains.
Я пропустив цей коментар чомусь.
I think we're done here, no?
What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I say? What I... Then what were you...
Maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
You're ma, Lowman. What of it? Good. Yes, go.
Так, ну експіріенс ми отримали. Кого вона звідси бачить? Вона каже про якогось поета. Я взагалі не викупаю, де цей поет може бути. Ой, я не туди натис. Типу, якщо думати логічно, то вона нікого взагалі не має бачити звідси. Стоп, що? Як я це зробив? Блять, треба релоуд робити. Я щось натис, і тепер у мене завжди бігає герой, коли я не хочу того.
A Stars Ryko, one of the finest Zhimsk-made motor carriages ever. An oldie, but a goldie. Not many people outside of Grad, and Revachol West too, it appears.
A Stash Raiko KK2. That's a classic model. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last time.
No, only that the motor carriage is typically baby blue, the colors of Sigismund the Great, an ancient Zhimsk ruler. His banners were famously zephyr and white, the colors of the Stars Ryko.
That's, well, yes, exactly it, more or less. Except it was a crowd of them. Tore him out of the vehicle and ran him over with his own tires. They said it was an honor killing, Hussar style. The Jims community protested the trial, flying the colors. 5,000 came to protest.
Correction, 4,395. The fourth largest public protest of a criminal trial in Revachol.
Ніхуя.
Is that so, officer? I'll take you at your word. People we are paid to protect. Let's leave it at that.
Окей.
Four years for murder in Reunion. The perps were remorseful. Their sorry knocked 8 years off the sentence. That's the system.
Ага.
The prisons in the greater Revachol industrial harbor are already full. Prisoners are expensive to maintain. The longer the sentence, the larger the cost.
Очевидно.
I tried to avoid drawing far-gone conclusions like these before actually examining the body, but my initial guess is the two are unrelated. Yes, detective? Okay, I'm not going to honor kill anyone over this, but I've seen it blue and white. It's much better that way.
Окей. Експу отримали. Так, стоп, блять, мені треба подивитися, як контролси. Тут кабінет. Бля, все одно якась хуйня виходить. Як я це зробив? У мене питаннячко. А, може вона цього бачить, чувака? Напевно, цього. Так, треба перевірити, що це, як це я це зробив. Авторан, як його задізейблити? Caps Lock, turn the auto... Ага, Caps Lock. Пробуємо. О, найс.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
Я також так роблю.
From another planet. Hey there. It's the jam, my man.
Бля.
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
Mazout is an antiquated term for heavy fuel oils. This man has a barely suppressed performative streak. Or he just likes unusual words. Or both.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already. So tell me, what do you need?
Так, що мені треба? Я можу все попитати, так? Tell me about the strike.
It's like whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out. Some pretty wild stuff I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on. They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do. Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
Ніхуя ти придумав.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one's ended, you can get onto the next one.
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs.
Ask for his conclusion.
A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
То і то правда.
He ain't one of us
It's easy to see he's telling the truth.
analyzing the
Ask for his.
nothing. I'm just messing with you, man. Don't mind my idle verbosity.
Бля, брешеш? Ти серйозно це мав на увазі?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of found cargo. Mostly sporting goods, tracksuits, and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il-Moran market lately.
Так.
Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road. This rockin' beauty. Sure is, like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested?
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6.
Угу. Так.
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Якщо ми ще можемо з тобою про наркотики спитаємо тебе.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
Бля, якщо буду правдивим з ним.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
Ah, man. But those days are behind me. There are Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing on me?
Entrapment is a practice whereby an officer of the law induces a person to commit a criminal offense that the person would have otherwise been unlikely to commit, usually through some trickery, persuasion, or fraud.
Then what's your deal here?
We have a credible...
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo. And it gives me time to work on my rhymes.
A rhymesmith? This is quite credible. It goes with its cadence and way of speaking.
Look, man, I try...
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
О,
Ah, man. But those days are behind me. Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk.
Entrapment.
We have a credible...
Not me, man. Look, man.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire. Wait, there's something here, stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like...
Whoa. What else?
Так, what else?
Silent communion. That's good. Dang, that's some great shit. You came up with that yourself.
Or did you learn it in school? More importantly, who can prove if you did? Go with it. You deserve some acclaim.
Угу. Так, як тут відповісти?
No matter. It's a fine stanza. You're not so bad after all. For a cop, they're more often in the fists than rhymes, see? Let alone honesty in verse. Well, you've given me some hope, I guess.
You found some common ground with this man. Even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words.
Окей.
Don't be a stranger.
Так, поїхали далі. Автосейв якось ху... А стоп, як я його до цього не помічав? Чи я з ним вже розмовляв? Я не міг з ним розмовляти.
It's raining again. It was clear just an hour ago. Excuse me? Oh, well, I didn't write it there. I'm just sitting here.
You didn't say she wrote it. You asked what it was doing there.
Sir, it was implied in your question.
The timidness is gone for a second. Something else takes its place. A readiness.
I don't know anything about that either. As I said,
Pig is a widely used term for members of the police. It's not loving.
No need to worry. We are not saying you did.
Okay. Well, I didn't. Well, this might be the last snow we get. At least I hope so. Snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green up in the spring. At least that's what my grandma always told me.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow.
Блять. Що в нього в голові відбувається?
Nitrogen and sulfur mostly. And whatever factories and aerostatics exhale too, I guess. A bit much? What are you talking about? That's what my grandma told me, okay?
She feels interrogated now. It's hard to say if she's lying.
Relax, miss. This is not an interrogation. We are just checking some facts.
Stop looking at her. Look around. What do you see? That's right. And the canal, the bookstore, the harbor gates. This is a great vantage point for keeping an eye on you.
Опа. Так, а якщо я це залишу собі, чи ні, чи що? Що мені зробити?
Glad to have been of service. Now you know the locals are keeping tabs on you.
Вона якась дивна, реально. Я залишу це при собі. Угу. Так, а скільки зараз годиночок? Стоп, а хіба це. Це ж не сьогодні, очевидно. Ні, сюди я ж не можу потрапити, чи можу? Ні. Наїбалово. Я не пам'ятаю, де апартмент 28 знаходиться. Це сюди кудись треба. Ні, не сюди. Як тут на другий поверх? Чому я постійно все забуваю? Куди? Блять, і знову не сюди. О. Я зараз просто буду гуляти як лох туди-сюди, бо я забув, де куди йти.
Ruination has come. The broken arches betray the once grand history of this building. It towered over the harbor until it happened. A great force from the northeast fired into the city. Heavy artillery shelled the coastline, fired from the water. A straight shot into Revachol. The tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling until it was destroyed, and they had a direct firing line. The waves of the Martinez Inlet roll over the fallen remains of the building. The dark waters obscure the better part of the remains. What didn't fall into the ocean was used as scrap. What wasn't used as scrap was thrown into the ocean. Those arches acted as support for something greater than what you see now. Only 3 stories stand where 9 to 12 once did. Restoration has failed. What the shelling took out was never rebuilt. A fleet, the combined armies of Occident and Grad, with Mesk volunteers, a 5-nation army, hundreds of vessels. They massed airships further down in the Bay of Revachol. The artillery was so powerful. The ships not only required gyroscopic stabilization, they were anchored into the ocean floor as well. Many are still there to this day. If you squint, you can just barely see the shadow on the water, far in the northeast. cannons still ready to placate Revachol. Coalition warship Archer can shoot 50 shells a minute on 20 co-aligned archers. They will reach the city in 58 seconds.
The coalition. But that was a long time ago. I think we should move on. It's chilly up here.
Так, треба тільки знайти хід. Як туди потрапити? Точно не сюдою? Ні, правильно хуй. І тобі хуй. Я сам іноді забуваю. Але то таке. Бля, я не пам'ятаю, куди йти. Це мене бісить. О, десь сюди. Це Артур навчив. Точніше Віталій, а Артур підтримав просто.
This door is made of metal and appears to be no one answers.
We should return tomorrow.
А, завтра.
Tomorrow at night.
Бля, я лох. Я думав, треба сьогодні прийти, а треба прийти завтра. Туди я не можу чомусь потрапити. Треба ще один магаз сходити, а потім вже можна буде робити щось інше. Зачинено. А, треба ще до мужика сходити на пристані, точно. Окрім того, що ось сюди зайти. Це магаз, напевно, якийсь. Там де бутилки можна продати. Ага. Це антикваріат, я так зрозумів. Окей.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
Franco-Nigerian knights. I used to be very serious about these guys.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
This is what the loyalists looked like, yes, at first. Then they wised up and got camouflage.
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. I don't like either set very much, to be honest. But there are many parents among my customers.
This set of
You're probably... I think their poverty has been exaggerated for a... maybe.
Так, F5.
You see rows of toy soldiers.
You got a truly
guarding the
cool
rest of the
figurine in the
tributes
box under the
displayed
table.
on the table. Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say found.
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider. The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head. 50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has many interpretations.
He lost his cap when he lost his head. Perhaps he's looking for the head.
Так. Що ще ми можемо подивитись?
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Прикольно.
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order. It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
Ти що здущайки нахрен 700? Ти що псих? Так, і що мені сказати йому?
There's also the matter of rewiring, but the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
Це піздець 700 реалів, а де стільки взяти?
The boomboxes on the shelf look well loved and well traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Окей.
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres, even though I don't really like music.
That's odd. Why doesn't he like music?
The stuff I record myself, silverware shaking in drawers as motor cars race by, nocturnal animals climbing on the roof, airship rotors, that kind of thing.
Maybe you should ditch music as well. Get into these more experimental sounds he's describing.
Так, стоп.
Absolutely.
That's odd. Why doesn't he like music?
Here's a good one, that. Weather resistant. Is the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got, if police work means playing tapes, sure, you can use it for that, or any other time you'd need to play a tape.
Так, що в мене там по експірієнсу? 40.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Так.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had many customers lately, RCM or otherwise.
Who are your customers?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake. People, as you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Так. Так.
It keeps me entertained.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
Опа, він може бути.
Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Так, це можна продати за 50 реалів, це за 11, це за 22, 0,5, 15. Блін, ну я не буду це продавати.
I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Так. А я не розумію, чому я не можу продати бутилки? Чи мені їх треба якось спочатку?
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
Так.
Traffic? I'm sorry, officer, but I don't drive. Now that I think about it, I do remember hearing a thunderous noise the other night. Some kind of powerful electric vortex hitting the shop.
That sure narrows down our list of suspects.
was pretty wild. I didn't really know what to make of it, but I know it meant something. Traffic. I'm sorry of it. I just don't like it very much. Movement on the road never really gelled well with the movement of my thoughts.
Так.
Now that I think of
That sure narrows down our list of suspects.
He shakes his head, slowly.
traffic, I'm sorry. Now that I
That sure narrows down.
Jacob Ove, the great tip-top champion. Yes, yes.
Do you think it may have been Jacob Irv who drove over your...
It's a logical explanation. I felt within that thunderous crash a soul plunged into chaos. I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business.
He doesn't know anything. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Так, сейф і треба. А, у мене ще є, можу щось вдягти. І треба зняти цю парашу, де вона тут. Електро, що то там, як воно там, електро, якась хуйня. О, електрокемістрі. Замість штанів, які в мене є. Мої штані дають якусь хуйню також. А, стоп. Що? Ну, нічого не міняє, ясно.
Hello again. How can I help you?
А, та-та-та.
Sure. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Parolidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
Так.
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Ага. Так.
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature. I've had to take it, you know, since the People's Pile cleanup. I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
Так.
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you too.
The People's Pile was a Type U particle decay generator that failed immediately after entering service, releasing radioactive waste into River Esperance. Construction began during the Commune of Revachol. The people continued work on it after the Commune fell. They wanted a cheap source of energy for Revachol West. Needless to say, things didn't work out. A primitive nuclear reactor, also called a pile, an emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure blowing the turbine, taken the fuel containment vessel up in the explosion. Both the faulty design and lack of finances contributed to the catastrophe.
Здається, тут є референс до Чорнобилю. Якщо правильно все зрозумів.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized, tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill. I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud, years getting sick. There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment, and early deaths, cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could. No one's, everyone's.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen? The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it, so I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there, it's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can. Still in the same city, but... I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
You said you'd done it before, yeah?
The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knickknacks on display. Looks like he doesn't want to get involved. He won't be your knock, but he won't be thrilled about this either.
Here you go, man.
Yes, darling. That's the coalition government ordained parolidon. Straight into your gut.
Ха, що буде, якщо я візьму його?
Of course.
Єс. Хорош, хорош, хорош. Та граю в Disco Elysium. Анатоліч мені подарував, і мене так засосало в нього, що я вже третій чи четвертий день тут заліпаю. Так, і де у мене цей наркотик тепер? О. Можна буде юзати потім. Так, це прикольно.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of...
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
Так, я купив якусь фігурку. Фігурку... Коротше, якийсь чувак на коні без голови. Ну, типу, як в легендах, як у фільмі. Бля, що мені з цією фігуркою робити? Добре, купив і купив. Поїхали звідси.
Yes?
Давай, давай.
He just arches his brow. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Try work, the case at hand. It can work miracles. Not a fan. It's just the nature of lieutenancy.
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the Decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for 2 sergeants and 8 officers. That means the average lieutenant has to deal with quite a few personal affairs. Even you know this.
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation.
Так, окей.
Really? You look fine to me. This psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer.
Clearly, he prefers to think you're malingering. He cannot fathom that anyone could drink so much as to retroactively erase their entire life.
Малінгерінг. Що таке малінгерінг? Я не настільки прошарений.